Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for tuning into today's video. If you're new here, my name's Bree. I'm a freelance makeup artist in film and TV, and I also talk about a whole bunch of different things. So if you're interested in natural hair, crochet, makeup, behind the scenes, then definitely check out some of my other videos. As you guys read by the title, we are going to be talking about all the brands, the makeup brands that I do not support and why. So before we get into that, I have a couple disclaimers. One, these are my personal opinions, of course. So, don't this is just my, thoughts on what is available online. Two, everything has been researched prior to this. So everything that I'm going to be bringing up is literally Googleable and it's like findable online. There's receipts for everything, so I'll be putting as much on the screen as I can, but some stuff you're just gonna have to take my word for it. I promise I don't gain anything from lying about any of this, like literally at all. Then last but not least, just want to say, don't forget these brands, they're not your friends, they are corporations. So if you find yourself, getting angry and in the comments, just remember these people they don't know you, they don't care. So yeah, with all that being said, let's get right into the video. All right, number one is Jaclyn Hill Cosmetics. So I just found out that Jaclyn is actually closing down Jaclyn Cosmetics for the foreseeable future, which I did not know. So this is just pretend this part never happened. And if you were on like beauty YouTube during that time, you actually already know why. But if you don't know why, Jaclyn Hill, who is like a beauty YouTuber slash influencer, she had a really big scandal with her first, I'm pretty sure it was her first launch of her new brand, Jaclyn Hill Cosmetics. And all the lipsticks that got sent out, not all, but a good percentage of the lipsticks that got sent out were moldy, hairy, had wet spots, were halfway melted. And so, yeah, that was like a whole thing. And one thing about me, I don't play about my, this is stuff you're putting on your face. And if I hear that a brand is like playing around and not being serious, I can't, I just can't. What do you mean there's like hair in the lipsticks? You know what I mean? You can't come back from that. I can't trust you anymore. Also, Jaclyn Hill she's generally a pretty shady person, and I don't really feel like giving her my money is like the best thing, because she also was doing some really shady affiliate marketing with like Morphe and other stuff. So basically on her YouTube channel, she would be ranting and raving about a product, and the whole time she's secretly making money from it, but she didn't tell you that it was basically an ad that you just watched. And then she kind of finesse people into I don't know, being like, oh, this is the best thing ever, this is the best thing ever, I've used this forever, and it's just my favorite product. And then people obviously are gonna be like, oh, okay, maybe I'll give it a try. Whole time it was literally a paid sponsorship ad. And the people were like, oh, I thought this was just you talking here. But yeah, so that's the second thing. Also, if you were on beauty YouTube at that time, you know about the whole Jaclyn Hill Vault palettes, which was like a whole disaster, and they had like very inconsistent formulas, and there's just like a lot of back and forth. Customer service was just like not helpful at all. And honestly, a lot of her complexion products don't have like the best shade range. Like it's like okay, but it could be better. So for all of those reasons, I do not plan on ever giving Jaclyn Hill or Jaclyn Cosmetics my money, because first of all, moldy and hairy lipsticks, no, that's not okay. Moving on to brand number two is Lime Crime. And if you know, you know. Oh my God. If you were there during this era, that name should already set alarm bells off. And if I keep looking down, it's because I'm reading off of the script that I made for this, just to make sure that I have my information correct. But anyway, if you were there during that era, you already know Lime Crime is like a no-no. For those who don't know, the owner, the founder of Lime Crime, Doe Deer, is just a very problematic person. Like Doe Deer, literally, it was just one thing after the next. First thing that she was originally known for was dressing up as Hitler for Halloween one year, which I shouldn't even have to tell you why that is extremely off-putting to me. And I'm pretty sure her reasoning was she just wanted to like test, like see how far, or like, I don't know. I really don't know her reason. Even if it's like, I just don't see how dressing up as Hitler is like a joke in any way. And it's like, okay, yeah, it's Halloween, but why Hitler? Like, I don't get that. Next thing about like the whole Doe Deer Lime Crime thing is she had a palette named after like a racist kind of like, I don't know if this is like a slur, or I'm not gonna say it, but she had like a palette that used a racist remark against Asian people, kind of like a racist stereotype. Like her Asian like followers and customers were like, hey, this is not cute at all. Like, this is super freaking racist. And she was like basically deflecting and being like, oh, it's not that bad, when it really was that bad. So obviously for me, as soon as there's racism allegations or literal proof of racism, I'm pretty much done with the brand. Like, I can't, like, for me, like racism with like a brand owner, CEO, I don't care who or what, that is like a no-no for me. I don't care who you're being racist to, but if you're gonna be racist to one group, you're gonna be racist to another group. Also, another big scandal with Doe Deer and Lime Crime was that one day their website got hacked because they had an expired like something called an SSL certificate, which has something to do with internet security. I don't know, y'all. I'm just the messenger. But they knowingly had an expired certificate, which means that their website was like at risk and basically got compromised, and a lot of customers had their information stolen, their credit card information stolen. Some people even like got their identity stolen from that because the hackers, you know, they finessed all their their information from the Lime Crime website, which is like super like whoa. And the way that she like let people know that the website was compromised was through an Instagram post, which is insane. And extremely unserious. And then eventually she sent out like an email, but at that point it was too late. Like, people already had their identity stolen by then, and it was like a whole thing. And I don't think these people ever got like compensation or a formal apology. I don't know. And the last reason that I have on this list is one of their lipsticks. If you were there during like the beauty YouTube like height era, like the height of it, you remember. But a Lime Crime had one of their lipsticks. It was like a red shade. It had two banned chemicals from the FDA. Like, they were banned in the US and they didn't tell like their consumer. Like, I'm pretty sure the problem was that they didn't let the customers know, because like, I don't know if, for whoever lives in California, you know, like some stuff when you buy it, it'll have like a warning and being like, this product contains these chemicals or whatever. So just letting you know that that could cause cancer. And then that's up to you to decide if you want to buy it or not. But with the lipsticks, so they had these two chemicals that were technically like not supposed to be used in the US, but it would have been okay technically if she had some type of warning label, but there was nothing. So people were using, you know, cancer causing lipsticks and stuff. So it's just like, I don't know, people in these lipsticks kill me. So yeah, that's like the Lime Crime Doe Deer stuff. So actually though, if I'm not mistaken, Lime Crime got bought out in like 2018. So technically, if I wanted to buy some Lime Crime, I could, but I don't know. I just don't really find myself flocking to, like, I think that's more of like a indie, like, kind of vibe brand. And I don't know. I just don't, like, maybe I'll go on their website and see something, but like, I don't know. I'm probably not gonna buy anything from them anymore, just because all of that, it just put a bad taste in my mouth. And I know there's another owner now, but it's just like, it's like Kat Von D. Like, she was doing a whole bunch of weird shit. She got her company sold off, but for some reason it's like hard for me to want to buy from Kat Von D. So I don't know. Brand number 3, we got Jeffree Star Cosmetics, which I'm sorry, but if you have a conscience, you agree with me on this. I'm sorry. And I've argued with people about this before, and I just never understood the obsession with Jeffree Star. But again, if you don't know, Jeffree Star, the founder and CEO of Jeffree Star Cosmetics, who originally started off making music and then moved into being like a beauty YouTuber. He was known for his like very erratic behavior and just like being like saying literally whatever comes to mind, saying the stuff that like no one else would want to say. And anyways, a whole bunch of videos came out about him, literally him saying like the N-word, hard R, to random people on the street, slurring people on the street. He did like a skit where he jokingly said he would throw battery acid on a black woman to make her skin lighter. He had this like beef with because another beauty YouTuber, Jackie Ina, who's black, said how she wasn't going to purchase from Jeffree Star because he's racist. And he decided to start calling her like a gorilla and a monkey and a dirty rat on Twitter and through text messages, which were leaked by Jeffree Star's hairstylist. Yeah, that's like not cute at all. Also, again, for those who were deep in the YouTube trenches, you know, but he's also like besties with Shane Dawson. I don't know if they're friends anymore, but at some point he was like, him and Shane Dawson were like this. And if you don't know, Shane Dawson is like literally infamous on YouTube for doing there's a fluff on me, for doing blackface multiple times on video. Shane Dawson is also known for being on a podcast and making a joke, which most people did not interpret as a joke, about him doing sexual things with his cat. I'm not even gonna say what. And yes, so doing blackface and literally making like bestiality jokes, which again, a lot of people did not interpret that as a joke because the way he said it, it was like a statement, not like a, but anyway, I'm not even getting into that. So yeah, Jeffree Star, overall just disgusting person, and I would literally never ever give him my money. Like, you couldn't pay me to buy anything from Jeffree Star Cosmetics or any of his other affiliate brands, cause no. Brand number 4 is Tarte. So again, Tarte had, I don't know what was in the air during like 2016 to 2019, but for some reason everybody was just like being so freaking racist online. I don't know why. Like, it's like it was a like heightened, like basically the Tarte what is it called, I think official Twitter account or something, or Instagram, used a slur against Asian people, which again, y'all know that's a no, like that's a chop. And then when people called them out about it, they were like, they posted like a meme of a cat on Instagram to apologize. And it was just like super weird and unserious. Also, Tarte had the big Shape Tape foundation scandal where they released, because you know, Tarte had the Shape Tape concealer, which was huge. I don't know why everyone was obsessed with it. I mean, I like it. I actually have it, and I think it's a good concealer. But since I don't purchase from Tarte anymore, once I run out, I run out. But they had the huge Shape Tape concealer thing go viral like for a really long time. So they're like, we're gonna do a Shape Tape foundation, use the same name, it'll be just as popular. Then they release the most laughable shade range I've ever seen in my life, and it was just so like, everyone was like, come on, this is really bad, like this is really bad. And then Tarte was like, oh, sorry, we were just in a rush, we were so excited to get it out. Basically, they were gonna put out the rest of the shades later, but these shades first. So then everyone was like, oh, so then everyone else is just a forethought, and you can have 10 of the same shades of like white with a million different undertones, but then we get like 2.5 shades for black people. That ain't cute, girl. And Tarte is also known for like their shady brand trips where they like invite influencers. Then they would like exclude the black influencers and like literally treat them differently. It's like, don't invite them. Like, I don't know. So yeah, if you're interested about that, there's a lot of videos. If you want to just search like Tarte brand trip controversy, I don't know. But yeah, super weird stuff. I just don't like, I don't like that shit. Brand number 5, and this one, okay, so this one's gonna be a little, I'm sure there's gonna be a lot of people who don't agree with this one. Huda Beauty is a no-no for me. And let me tell you why. And I know that the brand is like doing a lot of good stuff for Palestine right now, which I will give her points for. But I can't overlook all this other stuff. So their most like recent thing, which just like, this stuff is the reason I'm not supporting these brands. It's like all of the reasons like together. It's not just like one thing that I was like, oh no, never again. But it's like the culmination of everything. So their most recent thing was they like used this small creator on TikTok, a video of hers that they messaged her and asked if they could use the video for their brand TikTok. And the girl's like, yeah, because they're like, oh, we love this video. And then the next day they post the video and it's like the literal like CEO founder of Huda Beauty reacting like very negatively to the girl's video, even though she was like, oh, I love the video, but she didn't tell. So basically she's just like making fun of this girl on their brand TikTok, which to me that's just like petty. But the other reasons, there was a class action lawsuit against Huda Beauty about one of their eyeshadow palettes, I think, being like literally not eye safe. And they didn't tell you that they weren't eye safe until like the package came in the mail. And then there was like a little thing being like, oh, some of these shades like aren't usable for the eyes. And it's like, well, if I would have known that, I wouldn't have bought it. So it's kind of like, you know, you kind of finesse people into buying the palette. So there's like a huge class action lawsuit. So if you don't know anything about that, definitely search that up. Also, there was one of the earlier scandals was being found out for stealing from Beauty Bakery, which is a like smaller black owned makeup brand. It was one of like their loose powder ideas. It was literally stolen, like the exact thing. So like, stealing from black people, don't like that. That's not cute. She posted to the brand, I think it was either Twitter or Instagram, something. She like posted an article about vulva lightening, basically being like, this is a problem, we need to fix it. Basically being like, if you're dark down there, that's bad and you need to lighten it. Like, hello, genital mutilation? No, that is not cute. And also, she is a promoter of All Lives Matter, which absolutely not. I also forgot to add that she posted this as a promo to like a foundation, which is, what am I even looking at? Like, why the blackface? Not cute. That's anyone who makes fun of like the Black Lives Matter movement, automatic chop. So that's, yeah. So because of all of that, it just gives very anti-black. And I can't in good conscience support someone who's like has a past of doing stuff like that. And I know, you know, some people could be like, no, what if she changed? What if she changed? It's like, that's cool and all, but I still have a bad taste in my mouth. Like, because I'm sorry, but like black people are always the butt of the joke. And I'm just like really tired of that. All right, brand number 6, we have Too Faced. And yeah, I know I need to stop saying if you were there, then you know. But if you were there, you know about all the Nikki tutorial stuff. And let me just get into it. So the first like ever scandal that they're really known for was their first ever like collab palette with a YouTuber named Nikki Tutorials. And basically it was eventually found out that they super lowballed her on the deal on a palette that made like millions of dollars. So she ended up getting like a flat rate, and the palette made like so much money over time, and she didn't get any residuals. So it was kind of like super sketch, because like they could have cut her another check or something, like, you know, I don't know. Like, she did admit that it was like she should have looked into the deal better. But when you're like and this was like kind of a couple years ago. So when you're like doing your first collab, like you don't know, like a lot of this makeup stuff was very niche at that time, and a lot of people didn't know like the information that we know now. So you know, at the time it was kind of like super shady, but she was like, look, I signed it, that's on me, but still like don't like being taken advantage of, lol. But so that was like their first ever thing, and that put me off. But you know, that's a person's decision, so it's like I won't fully judge them based off of that. Another thing about Nikkie Tutorials though, so Jared Blandino, which is like one of the founders of Too Faced, his sister is like a super bigot, okay? And one day Nikkie Tutorials made a video basically being like she's being blackmailed, and a lot of people suspect that Jared Blandino's sister was blackmailing Nikkie Tutorials. And what was she blackmailing her, you ask? About? Basically, Nikkie Tutorials is a trans woman, and Jared Blandino's sister was like super transphobic, and there was like documented times of like her attacking Nikkie Tutorials and all this stuff. And Nikkie Tutorials literally said, like, someone is blackmailing me to come out as like trans, or they'll like do something, like I don't know the details of the blackmail, but a lot of people suspect, although it's never been fully confirmed. There's like a lot that goes into it. Like what I'm explaining now is like the like spark notes of it. Like there's so much more details. Like I'm giving you like the bare minimum here, but I'll try to link some videos in the description if you're like, you know, curious about that. But yeah, so basically Jared Blandino, it's like, yeah, that was his sister, but she worked for the company and she's doing all this stuff on the company accounts and stuff. And yeah, also she like changed her bio when Nikkie Tutorials came out as like being a trans woman. Jared Blandino's sister changed her Instagram bio to like basically insinuate that Nikkie was lying, which it was like a whole thing. I'll try to put up as many like screenshots as I can. It was like a whole thing. Like you just had to be there. It was so confusing. Everyone was like, why are you doing like bio changes as like your form of communicating? Like, and then like she changed her bio again, and then it was so weird. Like, so to me, that whole family's weird, and I don't like that like transphobes are making money. So no, I'm not gonna give them my money. Also, Jared Blandino gifted his husband a shirt that said "Rich Lives Matter," which not cute at all. So, and I think they had it on a cake too, and I know they thought that shit was so funny, but it wasn't. Nobody else was laughing. So yeah, that was super out of touch and just disgusting. If I don't like, why do you feel emboldened enough to like do some shit like that, like making fun or just like using these other iterations of Black Lives Matter, knowing damn well what the connotations of that are? It's just so weird. Like, you could have kept that in your private little circles. Like, why did it have to be posted? Like, why does everything have to be like thrown in our face, you know, that like nobody gives a shit, or like nobody respects us, you know? Like, anyway, let me move on. Another thing I need to know, apparently Too Faced got bought out, and the two original founders I don't know if they still work for the company, or like if they got their money and they dipped, but they got bought out for like, I'm pretty sure like $1 billion, because that's how profitable Too Faced was at one point. Like, people were obsessed with Too Faced, but their image was just ruined. But eventually they did get bought out. So again, if I wanted to buy something from Too Faced, I could technically, but honestly, I just don't feel that pressed to. Like, and I think it's because since I'm a makeup artist, I just know of so many brands that I could just choose from instead, that I'm just like, eh. So yes, that is Too Faced. Next, we got It Cosmetics. And honestly, my reason is honestly just because they have consistently bad shade ranges, which I find insulting. And honestly, it's like, in this day and age, you should be having like better shade ranges. So yeah, I mean, it's like I could buy something from It Cosmetics if I wanted, but I don't really feel compelled to. Okay, next brand we have Morphe, which another controversial one. My reasoning is because honestly, overall Morphe is kind of a shady company, and only people who were like really tuned into the drama like on the internet would probably know. I'm sure a lot of this information is not really widely known, but basically Morphe, one, has continuously worked with and stood with like racist like influencers and like works with them all the time, which I don't like. They were like the leader in undisclosed ads and affiliate links. For those who remember, there was those Morphe sponges, the red ones, and a whole bunch of influencers were saying how it was their favorite sponge ever, and then people bought them and they were rock freaking hard, and they were like just below average sponges. But basically Morphe paid all these people to lie and not tell you that they were selling you a product, but really they're acting like, oh yes, this is just my routine. Like, no, it's not. So super shady with like that. They also, so apparently Morphe filed for bankruptcy and they laid off a whole bunch of employees, but like in a really weird way, like not okay way. And Sephora did the same thing. I'm pretty sure like Morphe employees, I'm pretty sure they found out that they didn't have a job because like they tried to show up to work and the doors were locked or something, or it was like a Zoom call. I don't know, but that's not okay. And also Morphe and like the whole private labeling scandal, which depending on who you ask probably isn't that big of a deal, but Morphe is like definitely a private labeled company, which means like there's a place that manufactures these products and then Morphe just like slaps their name on it. It's not like people at Morphe coming up with each, like they're literally just like buying pre-made palettes basically and making them cheaper because the pre-made palettes actually come with mirrors inside and the Morphe palettes don't. So they're actually kind of finessing people because they're charging way more for something that they bought for like super, super less, which isn't cute. I mean, I know a lot of people are gonna be like, well, so many brands do that. Not every brand, I can tell you that. And I don't want to like, I don't know. It's just all those things put together. And I'm pretty sure they had like a scandal with one of their palettes. They claimed to be vegan, and then one day they changed one of the ingredients, didn't tell people, and then it technically wasn't vegan anymore. So like the people are like cruelty free, something like that. And for the people who are, there's people out there who don't want to like use makeup that like tests on animals and just like stuff like that. So you kind of can't like like there's a reason why certain brands have like the Leaping Bunny certification and the certified cruelty free stuff, like because some people actually care about it. So there was that. And honestly, yeah, Morphe's just like super shady. And yes, their setting spray is good, but I can get setting spray from any brand. Like, you know how many brands make setting sprays now? Like, I don't know. Okay, and moving on to the last brand, that is KKW Beauty. This is one of those brands where it's like, if you have any type of conscience, or just like if you're even willing to be open-minded about this, you would agree that Kim Kardashian is not a good person, and I don't like giving my money to not good people. And I know there's people out there who like love Kim Kardashian and they think she's so funny, she's so all this and that. But this is a woman who's repeatedly done blackface, and not even just like not the stereotypical type that you would think of, but I mean literally, I don't know who remembers that one magazine cover she did where people literally thought that she was black. Like they didn't know that was Kim Kardashian because she literally like I don't know if it was foundation or tanner or something, but she literally had the skin tone of a black person. And the hair, and like she had a wig. It was like this weird, like she was trying to embody like a black person, and it was so creepy. And like that's modern day blackface. Like I know when you hear the word blackface, you think the old-timey like painting their face black with the red lipstick, okay? And yes, some people still do that. Cough cough, Shane Dawson. But there's also a newer, more complex version of like blackface and minstrelsy that we're seeing with the evolution of like social media and just like all this stuff. There's like a whole bunch of things that like goes into it. But her constantly like not presenting as the shade that she actually is. Like who remembers that infamous like picture of Kim Kardashian's hands where she's like, here's my regular hand and here's my other, like here's how I normally do. Like she's consistently like trying to cosplay as someone who she's not. And she's constantly like leeching off of Black culture, using Black men to further her like stance in the Black community. Like her whole family does that. Her, Kylie, like Kendall, they all do it, okay? And so I don't give my money to any of the Kardashians or the Jenners or whoever because I don't trust them. They're not good people. They use Black people to like just further their image, and it's weird. Like I don't like it. And I know there's people out there who love keeping up with the Kardashians, and they just eat it up. They eat that type of brainless shit up. Like that's all I'm gonna say. I just can't give my money to someone who does weird shit like that all the time. Like honestly, all the people on this list I named, they're just a whole bunch of weirdos. But yeah, that's just me. Those are all the brands. I think there's some more that I'm forgetting. I'm probably gonna do a part 2 to this video because I do think I forgot some of them, but this is like a good chunk of the brands that I don't really buy from now anymore. So possibly I'll do a part 2, but we'll see. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching today's video. If you have any comments, questions, or just any thoughts of your own, please leave them in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe, like, all that stuff, and have a great day. Bye.